Alright, I'm back. I've gone through. Please ignore my dog. Postman's giving him crap right now. So yeah, I am gonna go with like a blue, teal kind of look. I've pulled out the electric blue. This is $2 dollar store craft paints. Studio acrylic, like Citadel Warhammer kind of games, and regular acrylic. All of these work absolutely fine for re-inking, so work with what you have. Acrylic is great. Oil will take forever to dry, so acrylic. Watercolor I don't think would be good either. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I picked out 6, and there's 6 sides of this, so I will do one side in each color, and then I will have a vote, and the one that has the highest vote, I will do the entire set in that color, just to have a little bit of hands-on, I guess, and because I have no real idea otherwise what to do. So yeah, I will go ahead and get started. I have a better quality paintbrush now that is still pretty narrow, and I use this kind of utilitarian because it will work on ones that have smaller numbers and still fit in there, and it'll work on the ones that have bigger numbers as well, but it works better on the small. But it works for now, so I will go ahead and crack open this dark teal from Citadel, or Incubi Darkness as they call it. Wet my brush. See, it's a very, get it in the sun so you can see, very dark teal color. Just a little bit of moisture on the brush. Then just want to make sure, and it's not too thick because a thick will glob, not too thin because it won't stick. And I tend to go for more layers that are lighter than one solid thick layer. So that's pretty much all solid though. But I will take tissue to get where I've gone out of the lines and just brush gently over it. And because it's under the sun, you can see where it's left a little bit of a ring. That just comes off with a little bit of gentle scraping. So a little bit up towards the top of the 2. That's not filled in. Just getting a little bit more paint on the brush, a little bit more water, mix it up a little bit, make sure consistency is good, and then dab it in. It really is okay, brush when you finish with that, it really is okay to be spilled over, and it's even easy to correct it once it's completely dried, because then you can just scrape it completely off. But I will just go over and over probably a couple more times just to make sure it's getting a nice even layer in there. And once that dries up a bit, I will show you what that looks like. Then I will go ahead and paint all the sides to get ready for the vote. Alright, so there it is. I've filled it in completely. You can tell by the cotton swabs, the sides around the edge are dry, even though it's still a little wet inside because it's thicker. But I can just use my finger, or if I want to be neat, use a toothpick. So it's mostly good. Just a little bit around the edges up top. And a little bit of paint transfer back here. But just the more you work it, as it's drying, the more it settles in to looking neat like that. And I'll go over everything at the very end just to give it a final clean up to make sure that everything is pretty brains fell in my head, sorry, and thoroughly painted, and all the lines look good, and just make sure that it's table ready or display ready. All right, I'm back with number 4, which is the last one, and one of the ones that I find harder to do. One is also a bit hard because when you wipe off, there are bigger gaps like here where they cross, and the uprights as well, and the straight angles. So you kind of have to, you know, if you wipe this way, it won't pull from the up and down line as much, but it will from the horizontal one. And if you, like, depending on how you wipe, it can wipe it off. I'm also going to show you what I call the ain't nobody got time for delicate little layers technique, which is you get your paint a little bit thicker and you glob it on as thick as you want, just so it's all in there. That's how I keep it open. There we go. So give that a couple seconds to dry. And using a clean-ish Q-tip, get the excess off the edges in the middle. This kind of more detailed way of like just using the cotton bud to do the work will help eliminate the big tracks, but if you do go in and you rub too hard, if it's nice and thick, it doesn't come out. Oops, sorry. Oh, there you go. So that's, I did it a little bit. See if you can tell. Might not be easy, but it's come a bit more shallow on that edge because I got in too hard. So again, just we'll flood it with paint, let it dry for a bit, and then I'll just use toothpicks and my fingernails and the cotton swab to get it off. I'll finish it up and we'll go through and do that vote. All right, the dice is done. Let's see if I can get, there's the one. You can see that the shimmer effect has not been affected by the acetone, and I've done all different blues on different sides. So for the vote, we have number 1 is electric blue, number 2 is Incubi Darkness, number 3 is warm blue, number 4, get that right there, is Sotek Green. Number 5 is Navy. And number 6 is Bright Blue. So I'm going to create a poll, and you can go ahead and vote on which number that you like the most. I'll have it up until Saturday night in the States, so just for 24 hours or so, 48 hours maybe, and then I will go ahead and paint the rest of the set that color, and then show off the final result. There you go, Cephala Squad. Tell me what you think.